Hey guys, so I wanted to film a quick reformer workout using the Goimu. So I'll start with footwork, laying down. Right now I just have 2 of the red springs on, and we'll do some footwork, some arms, some feet and straps, and we'll see what we get into. But yeah, for having a reformer at home that folds up is really awesome, and having the accessories like short box, long box, and the jump board is really amazing just to get a workout in from home. So I'm gonna lay down, and then I do have my headrest lifted a little bit, and then I'm just gonna start with running stretch. So just dropping one heel, getting the calf stretch, and then switching. And then I'm gonna do a Pilates V with my heels touching, staying on the balls of the feet, pushing out and coming in. I will just do 8 of everything. 6, 5, 4, 2, and then I'm gonna come halfway in and do some pulses. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then I'm stretching. I'm gonna add some calf raises in, dropping both heels and then lifting. And then I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna come up to the heels, flexing the feet. 6 more. And definitely adjust the springs for you. Whatever feels good. And then I'm gonna go into the pulses. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then stretching. And then I'm gonna do 1 wide turn out on the heels. 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then I'm gonna pulse. 4, 3, and then I'm going to stretch. All right, and then I'm gonna go into a few bridges. So I'm gonna drop the headrest down for the bridges. You want it to be flat. I'm gonna come up to the heels. So inhaling and then exhaling. I'm gonna roll up to the bridge, not moving yet, and then I'm just gonna roll down. Using the glutes, using the abs, inhale and then exhaling, rolling up, and then rolling down. Inhale, exhale, rolling up, rolling down. I'm just gonna do 2 more of these. Inhale, exhale, up, down, and then I'm gonna stay up for the next one, and I'm gonna push out and then coming in. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And then I'm going to roll down, and I'll do a quick figure 4 stretch, ankle over knee, pulling the thigh, breathing, and then I'm going to switch it. Okay, and then I'm gonna go into some arms and abs laying down. So I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna take off 1 of the red springs. And then I'm gonna lift my headrest up. And then I'm just gonna grab the straps. I'm gonna do the inside strap, so they're interchangeable. I'm gonna start with arms up, legs up, using the abs here. Lowering the arms, lowering the legs, and then lifting. Definitely keeping the abs in here. You can point and flex. 5, 4, 3. I have my head, neck, shoulders lifted, but you could always just keep the head down. 2. Last one. And then I'm going to rest, and then I'm going to bring the arms out the side, tabletop legs, extend the arms, extend the legs. You could always lift the elbows for a challenge, lifting the head for a challenge, using the abs. 3, 2, last one, holding it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting. I'll do one to get into the oblique, so I'm going to keep the legs in tabletop, and then I'm going to do one leg in between the arms, and then the other leg. One side, other side. 4, 3, definitely feel the abs. 2, I'm gonna try to pulse on one side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting. And then since we're laying down already, I'm just gonna go into the feet and straps from here and just do a little bit of the feet. I'm staying on the same spring. Sometimes I'll go lighter. All right, so I'm gonna do straight legs down and up, adding a point flex. Neutral spine, keeping the hips stable, keeping the abs in. 4, 3, 2. Last one, I'm gonna lower the legs to 45 degrees, heels touch, frog, bend in, stretching out. The challenge is keeping the heels touching. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, and then I'm gonna go into these circles, keeping the hips stable. Everyone loves the circles. It's the best. But it is awesome to just have a reformer at home, and if you don't have the space, you could just fold it up and put it in the corner. It's awesome. And then I'm going to reverse it, opposite direction. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. And then I'm gonna do a little stretch from here. I'm gonna flex the feet, pulling towards me, stretching, opening, stretching, breathing, and then going into the butterfly, bottom of the feet touch. I normally pull towards me, otherwise you could let your feet just hang kind of where the springs are. Breathing. And then I'm going to come up. I'm gonna take the straps off. I set it up so I could just hang them right on the shoulder blocks, which is super easy. And then I'm gonna do a little side lying, and then we'll go into some stretches. So side lying, I'm gonna drop this down, and then I'm gonna keep it on this weight. So I'm on one red, one white. We'll just do a few things here. So I'm on the side. I'm gonna stay stacked up, lifted in the shoulder. You could always lift the headrest and just keep the head down. So you could be like this with the headrest lifted. But since I'm just doing 8 and I'm not super heavy, I'm just gonna stay stacked up. But if you do have a shoulder issue or this doesn't feel good, you would wanna lay down with your head on the headrest. Always listen to your body. If something feels weird or doesn't feel right, just skip it. So I'm just staying lifted here, trying to engage the glutes. 3 more. 2. And then I'm gonna come halfway in and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stretching. Last one we're gonna do here, I'm just gonna do a hip opening. So I'm gonna come onto the heel, push out, coming in. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and then I'm pulsing. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And then we're gonna have to do everything on the other side. So I'm flipping over. And this is great because it is really comfy and cushy to be on. So my bottom leg is bent in, lifted in the shoulder because I'm staying lifted, pushing out and coming in. 4, 3, and then I'm gonna go into the pulses. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And then I'm gonna go into the heel on, toes up to the ceiling, pushing out, coming in. 6, 5, 4, 3, and then pulses. Even though I don't have it super heavy, I'm definitely feeling it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Woo. Okay, and then I'm gonna hop up. I'm gonna stretch what we just did really quick, and then we'll do some other stuff. So I have the foot bar set for the lunge stretches. So this first knee is gonna be bent, and then your knee is on the mat and just stretching out and in, or you could just stay out in the stretch. And then I'm gonna go into straight legs. So straightening the standing leg, lifting the knee up, going out and in, or just staying out in the stretch. But there's so much that you could do with this reformer. You could do standing exercises. I'm gonna just do the split stretch right now. And I mean, just for these stretches, it's amazing to have this at home. And then I'm coming on to the other side. Both knees bent. I'm just gonna do everything that I did on the other side. And then I'm gonna go into the straight legs. But this is definitely one of my favorite things to do on the reformer is these lunge stretches. And then last thing is the split stretch. Stretching and bringing the hands on the frame. And then I'm going to come in. All right, so now I'm gonna do an exercise where we're using the box. So I'm gonna put the box on. And then I'm actually gonna drop the foot bar down, which is really easy. You just lift this up and then you drop it down. There's also the jump board here to do a whole other class with. I'm gonna make this lighter because lighter will be more challenging for the abs. All right, so I'm gonna have us do a few planks. So I'm gonna do them on the forearms. So you do wanna stay lifted. If anything feels weird, definitely skip it. All right, so I'm opening the feet up and then I'm gonna stretch out to a plank, keeping the abs in, lifted in the shoulders, bend the knees, coming in, stretching out. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and then I'm resting for a second. Last one I'm gonna have us do here is the pike ups. So stretching out to the plank, piking up, stretching out. Pike up, stretch out. Five, 4, 3, 2, last one. I'm gonna stretch out, hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, coming in. Okay, so we just did a short box exercise. I'm gonna have us do a long box exercise. So I'm turning this to long box. I'm gonna make it a little bit heavier for this long box exercise. So I'm changing the spring. I'm taking the light spring off. Okay. So we're gonna be working the back muscles here. So I'm gonna hop onto the stomach. You wanna make sure the box is right in the center. And then I'm gonna pull these straps off. I'm gonna choke up on the straps. So bringing it right next to me, using the glutes, using the abs, inhaling. And then exhale, pulling to the side, lifting, and then dropping down. So your chest is hanging off the box. Inhale and then exhale, lifting, dropping. Inhale, exhale, lift, dropping. So you could always choke up higher on the straps if you want more resistance. I'm on the one red, but you could play around with it and see how it is. Lift, dropping, 4, 3, 2, last one. I'm gonna keep the arms at the side and I'm gonna kick the legs for swimming. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, resting. So that was just a little back extension. There's so much that you could do to add to that. I'm just gonna come into a little cat-cow stretch just to round the spine, stretch the back out, do an extension. Last one. So that's just 2 exercises using long box and short box. There are so many other variations and things that you could do. And then I'm just gonna have us end with one of my favorite stretches, which is the mermaid stretch. So I'm just gonna stay on the one red spring. I'm gonna lift the foot bar up at the diagonal, and then we'll go into the mermaid stretch. Shin is up against the shoulder block, other foot's against the inner thigh, hand on the foot bar, pushing outside, stretching, lengthening, Coming in and going the opposite direction. I like to do the counter stretch. One more each way. Another one of my favorite things on the Reformer. Rotate, pushing out, stretching, and then extension. One more. Extension. And then I'm gonna flip over and do the other side. Side stretch over. One more each way. Rotating, stretch. Last one. And that's just a short workout that you could do with the Go Move. It's so great just to have a Reformer in the house to stretch. And yeah, if you have any questions or want to see anything else, let me know. And until next time.